Imagine this, a team that's been underestimated, counted out, and overshadowed by the giants of the league. Just like Cinderella, the Dallas Mavericks have faced their fair share of trials and tribulations, but with grit, determination, and a sprinkle of Luka Dončić's wizardry, they're making a run for the championship that's nothing short of a fairy tale story. Let's embark on this captivating journey to see how the Mavs are transforming from underdogs to the top of the league. From early season struggles to amazing moments and wins, this is the Cinderella story you won't want to miss. The Dallas Mavericks are back. I mean, they're winning basketball games. This team's looking like one of the top contenders in the NBA. Just last season, the Mavericks surprised everyone with their playoff performance, managing to reach the NBA Finals despite having only half a season to develop team chemistry. It was an impressive achievement. And this season, we could be on the brink of witnessing another potential finals run this year. However, the first 12 games of the season didn't paint a promising picture, as losses were piling up rather than victories. Even though many of those losses were close, it raised concerns, especially for a team like the Mavericks. Let me clarify. Last season, one of their key strengths was having both Luka Dončić and Kyrie Irving, two of the best finishers in the game. This dynamic allowed the Mavericks to excel in high-pressure situations, as demonstrated in several playoff games, particularly against the Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals. But this year, clutch time games weren't the Mavericks' thing, but that seemed to change against the Oklahoma City Thunder. With just under 3 minutes remaining and a 5-point deficit, the Luka-less Mavericks quickly scored 5 points in about 30 seconds, creating enough of a buffer to secure the victory. Following this win, the Mavericks went on a tear, even with Luka sidelined for several games after their loss to the Utah Jazz, where he appeared to be a real-life Maverick, standing tall and waving off his teammates, signaling he needed no assistance.
Marshall waving his teammates off, I don't need any help.
Oh, Collins! JC! Put the Mavericks to sleep!
The Thunder's performance had put the Mavericks back on track, and now Dallas has won in 11 of their last 12 games, propelling them from the lower ranks of the Western Conference to a solid third place. This turnaround was anticipated, we just didn't know when it would materialize. The current situation isn't solely about Luka and Kyrie being exceptional players, it's more about the overall team dynamics. Losing Derrick Jones Jr. was a significant setback, as he served as the Mavericks' primary perimeter defender. However, Quentin Grimes and Naji Marshall have stepped up remarkably since that victory against the Thunder. Naji's averaging around 17 points per game, while Quentin contributes a solid 15 points per game. In the finals, the Dallas offense struggled to match the Celtics, which ultimately hindered their chances of winning another championship. Therefore, gaining an additional 30 points per game from role players marks a substantial improvement. Their contributions extend beyond offense, they also have excelled defensively. For instance, Quentin Grimes showcased his skills against Jose Alvarado when Ingram drove, forcing a kick-out before recovering to strip the ball from Alvarado. Additionally, Grimes effectively played help defense, allowing PJ to recover and block a shot from behind.
Here's Quentin Grimes on Jose Alvarado. As Ingram drives, he jabs at him, forcing a kick-out, before recovering and getting the strip on Alvarado. Now watch him here as the help defender. Brandon Ingram gets the step on PJ, and Grimes does a fantastic job of staying vertical, allowing PJ to recover and get the block from behind.
Naji demonstrated similar defensive prowess while guarding Michael Porter Jr., moving his feet to stay in front and contesting shots without fouling. This is a prime example of elite basketball defense.
Here he is guarding Michael Porter Jr. He moves his feet and stays in front before contesting without fouling, forcing a miss.
Naji Marshall also excels at his push shot and his floater, relying on that crucial first step to get past his defender. Whether it's a closeout from beyond the arc, during a fast break, or even from a post-up, he finds success. This strategy is particularly effective when paired with players like Kyrie and Luka, who can generate that initial edge. This aspect highlights the evolution of the Dallas team compared to the previous season. They now have players who can effectively exploit advantages in ways that earlier Mavericks teams couldn't. He's poised to become an exceptional player, and even more significantly, he'll earn a total of just $10 million over the next 2 years. For comparison, Tim Hardaway Jr. is set to make $16 million this year only. Having several wing players who excel in defense while also contributing offensively is essential for a successful team. The Boston Celtics exemplify this concept, and the Mavericks are on a similar path. While Luka and Kyrie may not be the two-way players that Tatum and Brown are, when the Dallas backcourt's in sync, they become nearly impossible to stop. Irving's finesse inside is remarkable, and his three-point shooting is lethal. Dončić's ability to spin and shoot from beyond the arc adds another layer to their offense. It's not just about individual brilliance, their teamwork shines through in simple alley-oops. We've witnessed Luka and Kyrie dominate teams like the Thunder and Timberwolves by effectively utilizing their big men with spectacular lobs.
We've seen Luka and Kyrie absolutely destroy the Thunder and Timberwolves by maximizing their bigs with highlight lobs, and they're still doing it.
The Mavericks have achieved a lot so far, while Klay Thompson's enduring the toughest season of his career. I can already hear the criticisms. He's washed up and he can't play anymore. While those points may hold some truth, my observations of him in Golden State over the past few years reveal a different story. It's evident that he can't move defensively like he used to, but his shooting, the attention he draws, and even his playmaking abilities remain impressive. Over the last 3 years, despite his injuries, he's maintained nearly a 40% shooting percentage from beyond the arc on almost 10 attempts per game. You can debate his defense all you want, but eventually Klay will find his rhythm and have a series of games where he lights it up from three-point range. When that happens, combined with the talent already on the Mavericks roster, things could become even more problematic for their opponents. We're all aware of the true potential of this Mavericks team, as demonstrated last season. While the roster may not be identical, the core group remains intact. The Dallas big men continue to be strong defensive forces in the paint. Take Derek Lively, for instance, as he faces off against Zach Collins while Stephen Castle navigates a handoff. Lively remains disciplined, avoiding the fake and keeping his hands up to challenge the shot. When Collins secures the rebound, Lively quickly pivots and swats the attempt away.
Lively on Zach Collins. As Stephen Castle comes off the handoff, Lively is forced to play too. He doesn't fall for the fake and keeps his hands up to contest the shot. And when Collins gets the rebound, Lively turns around and sends the shot away.
This team excels not only in defense, but also in making crucial stops during critical moments. Lively finds himself defending Murray on the perimeter, which gives Jokic a clear advantage inside. Instead of lingering on the outside, he smartly recognizes the threat and moves in to block Jokic's shot.
He's matched up with Murray on the perimeter, meaning Jokic has all the advantage on the inside. Instead of staying out on the perimeter, he recognizes the situation and comes down to block Jokic's shot.
Luka Dončić and Kyrie Irving are both exceptional talents in the NBA. While Luka may not be having the standout season we expect from him, he's shown flashes of brilliance in recent games. Even when he's not at his peak, his stats of 29.8 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists would be a career year for nearly any other player in the league. That's the level of greatness we anticipate from him. Kyrie Irving, on the other hand, may not always dominate the stat sheet like Luka, but his efficiency is remarkable. What sets Kyrie apart as a scorer is not just his three-point shooting, but also his ability to excel in the short mid-range game. He has a unique skill set that allows him to make push shots, floaters, and other short-range attempts that few can replicate, especially at his height. This ability is a significant asset for many Mavericks players and aligns perfectly with the current trends in the NBA. While some argue that the mid-range game is fading, Kyrie's knack for scoring just inside the three-point line proves that close-range shots can still be highly effective.
From the free throw line and in, which almost no one else can do, particularly at his size. In fact, that is really a strength of so many of the Mavs players, and it's perfect for the modern NBA, because whilst people tell you the mid-range is dead, the shot which isn't efficient is a...
One more person who deserves more credit is Coach Kidd. Jason Kidd and his coaching staff have implemented effective strategies and maintained a positive team culture, leading to better overall performance. They've managed to stay positive during the first games, and they've adjusted to this roster needs so that most of the players can be at their best. That's easier said than done. The first quarter of the season has revealed the Mavericks' remarkable versatility in securing victories. Their adaptability has significantly improved, allowing them to win in various ways. They've achieved blowout wins, triumphed without key players like Luka Dončić and Kyrie Irving, and clinched tight games both at home and on the road. With their enhanced depth, the Mavericks can effectively respond to different game situations. There have been instances where players like Najee Marshall or Quentin Grimes have stepped up as leading scorers, and even Klay Thompson has had standout performances. It's clear that the team doesn't solely rely on Luka and Kyrie scoring 30 points each to secure wins. If the Mavericks maintain this level of performance, they are well positioned for success. When you examine the teams the Mavs have defeated during this recent stretch and compare that to the Bucks and their opponents, it's difficult not to view the Mavs as serious contenders for the finals and the championship once more. This team is not just good, they're significantly better than they were last year, and there's no doubt they still have a huge space for improvement.